They've been inconsistent the last 4 or 5 rounds, and they are one of the heavyweights coming in to the season, and yet haven't quite fired a shot over the last 4 weeks in regards to that. So a big occasion for both sides. We heard from Brad Arthur only moments ago. He made under no illusions on how they're going to play. We see Clint Gutherson there in game 150 for the Parramatta Eels. He is the heartbeat. He is their energy. This man on screen, what a season he is having. Try, assist, 21, leaves that.
Yes, the former Tiger himself back at Tiger Town, right here at Leichhardt. And if you're looking for a bit of inspiration, Shane Flanagan, to come out and put your best foot forward to show everybody what your team can still do, I guess coming back to the old hunting ground is a good place to do it.
Yeah, exactly right. And, you know, it's a big game for him, and he knows he's got to kick well tonight. And as Corey said, this forward pack of Parramatta, they need to stand up. They need to not pass the football a lot, and especially in the early stages. They need to get forward and show how powerful they can be. And then the likes of Gutherson come into the game. But it's going to be a really interesting forward battle, especially to start this game. And West Tigers last week against the Warriors on another big occasion. They held their own for a while, but back at home here at Leichhardt, I expect big things.
Not quite a full house here tonight for Luke Brooks, who's been here and their other home grounds, of course, over the past decade. A little bit of Gatorade there, and then a little squirt on the hands as far as the grippy stuff is concerned. He'll be good to go, and so is Adam Dewey, who is back in the starting side tonight. A couple of games coming off the bench, but he'll play in the centres. James Roberts played New South Wales Cup earlier here this evening. Regan Campbell-Gillard is good to go, so is Manu Brown, Dylan Brown. We've got Browns everywhere here this evening. It's the Tigers taking on the Eels. At Leichhardt, we've got a possum as well in the commentary box. We've got it all right here on Super Saturday. Kickoff is an awkward one to handle for the milestone man. Gutherson did well to catch it, handed it off there, and Makatoa was hit awkwardly, stumbled, and he might have an issue as far as a head injury assessment here is concerned. There's some atmosphere here at Leichhardt, as you would expect. Tough one to catch off the kickoff, and then Makatoa bringing it back out there. The collision with Zane Musgrove, and he got up a little bit wobbly.
Yep. Yeah, there's definitely a collision there that we see with Musgrove and Makahisi Makatoa as they go to the challenge, but it didn't look for first glance that the ball had left his hand.
Jackson, Zane. Well, we've got shoulder contact ahead, so it's going to be over.
There we go.
It's going to be a penalty.
So perhaps the earliest Captain's Challenge in Captain's Challenge history on play one, and then just leaping into the contact there. Musgrove, in the opinion of the bunker, making contact up high with the head of Makatoa.
Well, it's a great statement piece. I know he's got a little bit wrong there, Musgrove, but it's a great statement piece. I've got no doubt Brett Kamali, speaking to him before the game, he was going to challenge his middle forwards in regards to going after the Parramatta Eels, and it's a start.
They came down the field with plenty of intent. Off the kick-off, here is Papali'i, who will be a Tiger in 2023. And for the moment, he'll play it here for the Eels, just short of the halfway line from Moses. Turns it back underneath. They'll work it across the 50. They'll play it here. Looks to be okay, Makatoa. If there was any doubt about his fitness, Moses now off the right foot.
Musgrove again over the top on Moses.
Tuolungi was also there, down lower. Now Papali'i runs at Luke Brooks. You'll see plenty of him tonight, defending on this left edge for the Tigers as they go back to the middle. Through Moses, Campbell-Gillard standing here in the tackle. They've got one more, the Eels. Marnie from dummy half. He'll ignore Moses, goes to Brown instead. The kick over the top, an awkward one. Laurie coming forward, didn't get to it. Sean Lane did though. He ended up with the ball and scores in the first possession for the Eels. Inside 2 minutes, they kick to the big, rangy back rower who grabs 4 points.
Well, it's been a physical start to this match, but it's the Parramatta Eels that are able to come up with first points down this left-hand side. Dylan Brown Moses out the right-hand side's got a lethal kicking game. But the combination that we've seen in 2022 between Brown and this man, Sean Lane, has been exceptional. For such a big guy, he's able to do a lot of good things, and he gets up and crosses the try line for the first points for the Parramatta Eels. We see there 8 try assists he's got this year, playing with the ball. Such a big guy. Terrific skill to get across the line.
Well, that's a heightened mismatch, isn't it, between Sean Lane and Dane Laurie. He came down with a clean catch and still had plenty of work to do with bodies all around him there, but he had a nose for the line and makes it 4 points to nil. Junior Tupou playing on this right wing tonight in combination here with Adam Dewey. He couldn't get there to help out Dane Laurie. We are going to take a further look at this with the bunker.
Under review. We're looking for a possible knock-on.
Did you see a bobble there?
Not from
the
first
Chasers
glance,
are
no.
onside from the kick. Now looking to see if Sean Lane knocks on.
It's without doubt.
Okay, Chasers are onside from the kick. Looking to see if Sean Lane knocks on into Dane Laurie.
Ball certainly on the arm there of Laurie after it had touched Sean Lane, and he didn't have a solid grip on the ball. They might have a case here. So he winded on there. Hasn't got the
Ball touches Sean Lane's hand.
It's still got his hands
and then
on
contacts Dane Laurie, and Sean Lane has not secured possession after the initial touch.
Boy, I tell you what, eagle eyes in the bunker, because watching the first couple of replays, I didn't see that.
Well, I mean, you slow it all down to the nth degree like we are, and I guess that's what the cameras are for, but from the first glance, it looked okay. The West Tigers, they get away with that one there, and they need a response. Some great intent in the early stages of this match for the Tigers, but they get away with a nice one there.
See how they go with the ball in their hands now. Not quite 2 minutes gone. A bit to talk about already. Musgrove on report for a high tackle off the kickoff on Makatoa. Sean Lane denied a try by the bunker after the fact, when everybody thought it was going to be a 4-0 scoreline at a minimum for Parramatta. Here is Musgrove, who works it down the middle of the field. He'll play it now for Brown, who comes back to the middle. Joe Offahengawi trying to run over the top of Reed Marnie. And now Brooks just inside the 40, hooks it down the middle of the field. Gutherson was headed towards the wing. Dylan Brown having to go all the way back to his own goal, and a very good kick by Luke Brooks. And we'll see what sort of intensity the Tigers bring here in this defensive set.
Yeah, exceptional start for Brooks with his kicking game there. He was able to turn Gutherson around, made Dylan Brown get on his bike. We saw last week, Dewey had 13 kicks to the ball. He dominated in that area, but Brooks, to opening this match, has certainly come up with a big one as they alleviate the pressure now with a penalty.
Yeah, unfortunately, Corey, just a bit too eager to get off that defensive line. They jump the gun, the referee picks them up. But as you said, a beautiful kick from Brooks and an equally good chase. Really good start from both sides, and West Tigers' enthusiasm just bubbling to the surface, unfortunately, for a penalty.
So it gives the Eels a chance to come on the attack here once again. Wonga Blake will play it 40 out from the Tigers line. It comes across to Dylan Brown, hands it to Campbell Gillard, bounces away from Offahengawi. Tupou's a long way from his wing there, adding his weight to the tackle. Now Brown for Moses. Here's Papali'i again. This time picked off in a good tackle there by Brooks with some help from Tuolungi. Gutherson, a juggle, and put down by Makatoa. Nervous moment there, perhaps maybe expecting Musgrove and friends to be coming out at 1,000,000 miles an hour at him once again.
Yeah, the pass wasn't spot on from Gutherson. He's normally quite good at that, but Makatoa, he needed to catch that. You spot on him, and the crowd's into it. The Tigers are definitely getting off the line. They have come here with intent, the opening exchanges.
They were good defensively in the opening half hour or so of that game last week over there in front of the big crowd. Mount Smart Stadium against the Warriors as they work it away here, and they've turned the Eels away a couple of times already. Go downstairs to a moment to Matt Russell Bole there will play it here. 45 out from the Eels line from Brooks. Goes to Laurie. Numbers. A chance for Tyler. Gets away from Simonson's attempt to tackle. But he's just inside the 30. That was a knock on. At the death there. Stafford gets up saying the ball was helped out by an Eels defender, but the officials disagree and the Tigers aren't going to challenge.
It was a nice little short side raid down this left-hand side if Tyler was able to get the ball to the outside.
He's got a bit of an argument about maybe a hand on the ball there. They're not going to challenge it, but really good start from both sides. Both powerful and got a lot of energy getting off their defensive line. Really good start.
It's a crisp, cool night here at Leichhardt, just beside Parramatta River, and Matt Russell soaking up the atmosphere. There's plenty of it, Matt.
Absolutely. How good does that Wayne Pearce? He'll look good Saturday night crowd, and they're in a mood to make some noise. Does their team give them reason to do that? Time will tell. You're right, Woz, if this is winter, I'll cop it. Certainly in comparison with last weekend. It's mild, it's perfectly still. The only weather condition that will be a factor is a slippery surface, and we saw it be a factor in the New South Wales Cup game earlier on.
Here is Brown down the short side. Wonga Blake. As the Eels go on the attack here in the back end of this set of 6. Gutherson weaving away there from Jackson Hastings, still going. He had Sevo on his outside, but there was no point passing to him. Plenty of Tigers defenders all around him. Good stop by Garner. Now Brown kicks back towards the uprights. Flying high, Papali'i got a touch. It was backwards. Play on here. A chance for Penasini. Throws a dummy. Goes for the line himself. There's going to be a knock-on, though, called back some 15 metres out from the in-goal area.
We see there Mitch Moses blowing up Deluxe, wants to challenge the forward pass, which you're unable to do. But the lead-up play, once again, off a kick. It was to the back row in Papali'i. Flew high. It was a Dylan Brown kick. Comes across to this right-hand side. Papali'i beats for the jump. Terrific skill here over the back. I'm still yet to see a forward pass. Penasini runs onto the ball and gets across the try line.
It only have been the first juggle there, and the ball went over the top of the head there, I think, of Isaiah Papali'i, perhaps. I didn't see anything beyond that said it was forward.
No.
Perhaps another minor break there for the Tigers as they work it away from their own end. They'll play it here almost at the 30. Slow play the ball. Musgrove takes it forward where he stopped in a solid tackle. Campbell Gillard was there, so was Makatoa, and also Lane Hastings back on the inside for the 20-year-old for Bole. They'll play it here just short of the halfway line. Comes back for Luke Brooks to put it up. Pressure on Gutherson, floating backwards, an easier catch than he had off the kick-off itself to begin the game. But they've done well, the Tigers, get out of the danger zone, and they'll make Parramatta work it away from inside their own 20. Simonson runs it back to the hash mark, the middle of the field at the 20. Another whistle here. They keep doing this. Certainly not helping their own cause and putting themselves under big pressure, the Tigers, giving away penalties at this end of the field.
Yeah, you're exactly right. The first set, there was a high tackle straight from the kick-off, and then there was the second set there that was a beautiful kick by Brooks, and they gave a penalty away on tackle 2, and then same on this occasion. They're just gifting Parramatta field position.
Wearing his heart on his sleeve in the coach's box, Brett Kamali watching on. I think he agrees with us. They just keep doing it as Marty. Brown showing it a couple of times on the inside there for Niokore in the starting side tonight for the Eels as Moses takes it to the line. Just outside the 10, midway through this set. Here is Marnie. Campbell Gillard, not much line speed there from West, but Garner muscled up. So did Jackson Hastings. Stop him just inside the 10. Goes to Dylan Brown. Ball goes to ground. Sevo's hard to stop. Fires a hand grenade back over the top, and then Wonga Blake somehow stays in the field of play. Parramatta have one more here. Comes back to Brown on the back foot. Kicks it across the face of everybody. Papali'i is there again. Marnie touches it, knocks it on, and the Tigers continue to survive.
Yeah, they hang on once again, the Tigers, and again, it's the aerial raid from the Parramatta Eels. There's no better team in the competition in that regard, but it was a poor pass out of dummy half to Dylan Brown. It just put him back a little bit was unable to measure his kick, and off the back of that, they got it all wrong, the Parramatta Eels. And the Tigers, they survived once again. 2 times in early stages of this game, the Parramatta Eels have gone over the line without a try.
We've seen some remarkable wins this year from teams lower down on the table. I think the standard, though, was set as Laurie has put it down. And, well, it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? Trying to play quickly, but he's put his team under big pressure once again. I was about to say, back in round 6, I think the upset of the season still to this point was the Tigers win 21 points to 20 against Parramatta at Bank, or now Combank Stadium, with Jackson Hastings kicking the winning field goal. And well, you never know what might happen here. The magic of Leichhardt, the locals call it the 8th wonder of the world. Did you have much fun here playing, Corey?
I never played here in 347 games.
Right?
Never played a game here, no. So, no fun.
First time the Eels have been here, incredibly, since 2013. That does seem remarkable. They've only played here 6 times in total against the West Tigers. Here is Lane down the short side. Playing just outside the 10. They've been camped here, as they were last week against the Warriors. Last week they were pretty strong, as we said, for the first half an hour. Big pressure here again as they stand on their own line. Marnie from dummy half. He comes to Brown. First man option there is Niokore. Tries to spin away there from the tackle of Emil Bolle, who will stop him. Only a metre out. Marnie goes flat. Campbell Gillard, nothing doing there. Musgrove able to wrap him up, and then Brown comes in to make sure he hits the deck, and the Eels have one more play. They're deep on this right-hand side. Moses, Gutherson, quick hands. Penasini at juggle. The Tigers keep repelling them, and now they'll work it away with a restart from their own 10.
Yeah, it's the line speed of the Tigers that's really starting to pressure the Parramatta Eels. They can feel the space on the outside, just can't get the ball there quick enough in these greasy conditions here.
I just get a feel, Corey, that Parramatta are too worried about presenting shape and having all, especially to this right-hand side, and not just backing up with some hard running. They've got some powerful forwards in their team, but they're too worried about getting the right shapes on at the moment when they get in good field position.
Eels have had 8 sets to 4 to begin the game. And now the Tigers from their own 20. Down the middle of the field, here is Junior Tupou, former Canberra lower grader, then playing some rugby union in the Brumby system before linking up with the Tigers. Alpha Hengawi, who will move into the front row, and the Tigers do make a change with Hatamua to come off the bench to make his debut. Here's Hastings standing, giving it to Faumanu Brown. And the Tigers back in Eels territory, have one more in this set. It's Brooks. It kicks again, he goes high once more. Simonson this time going backwards. Just not much breeze around tonight. Much calmer conditions over the past 48 hours to what we had at times in the past week here in Sydney.
It was a nice run from Hastings on play 4, just in and around the ruck. Greasy condition, just put a bit of footwork on the big guys. Got a nice quick play of the ball, which then gave Brooks the opportunity to have a good kick. Could be a little bit of a key there for the smaller men.
Well, it's a lane to play. Pump there from Martin before Moses kicks from inside the 40. Has a pretty good angle on it. Needs a bounce. He doesn't get one. It'll stay though in the in goal area, and bringing it back, Dane Laurie to return it all the way to the 10 for the Tigers. A pretty good kick in the end. It only had to bounce just a couple of feet to the left, and it goes for a big 40-20 for Mitch Moses. And now Parramatta give away their first penalty of the game.
It was an excellent kick, wasn't it, from Mitch Moses, but the outside chasers in Siva and Wanga Blake really let him down. Needed to scream on down the field and try and maximise or capitalise on that kick. They were unable to do so. They give away a penalty. And the Tigers play one on the 50-metre line.
Here is Hastings. Musgrove takes it back into enemy territory.
It's been a strong start. He's really showed up with a bit of intent from Musgrove.
Looking for their first attacking chance at this end of the field. Nice footwork there from man in game number 2. Nuabole will play it here for Brown. Comes to the short side. Brooks is top. Plenty of white jumpers, though, in front of him. But they're within range. The tackle's up their sleeve here. Set restart. Norfoluma jumping out of dummy half, taken high. And they'll get another penalty. Only a couple of metres out. It was Reed Marnie here, just hanging out an arm and collected David Norfoluma high from marker.
Yeah, it was 2 set restarts before they come off the line there. Moses just puts a lazy arm out. And the Tigers get the penalty. The crowd has certainly come to life in this one.
Certainly have now. The Tigers are within range. Bode to play it. Brown goes for Hastings and then Musgrove. Hastings pointing out the back saying, this is where I want you. When the forwards are organised, he gets a bit of width on that right-hand side. It comes back here now. He's switched to the left. Brooks turns Tuolungi back on the inside. Got away from Campbell Gillard. Stopped though. Bounce off Niokore. Cleaned up by Marnie. They'll go from dummy half and they've scored for Manu Brown. This incredible story. He was out of rugby league for more than 3 years. He's returned as a Tiger and puts them in front here at Leichhardt.
Well, how often do we see it? They repelled, and they come down here, their first real opportunity, only being tackled inside the 24 times, and off the back of that, Brown able to come out of dummy half. There's a bit of fatigue there in Murata Niokore. Reed Marnie comes off just a slight bit sideways, and Brown burrows over right next to the post. So we see Gutherson make his way out to the referee.
The rookie coach looking for win number 1 here tonight. If they could beat the Eels for a second time, Shane Flanagan, bring the roof down here at Leichhardt.
They sure will, and it's been just reward. They've been really tidy with the football. They defended their try line for a couple of sets, and they've kicked long, and their chase has been good. They finally get some field position with a penalty, and Famu Brown, he is a specialist. Sure, Coach Brad Arthur would have been speaking about him during the week, how he comes out of dummy half. Last game here against the Bulldogs, he scored twice from dummy half. He is a specialist. I had him at Cronulla. He's powerful, close to the line, and he just loves taking those opportunities.
Well, the setup play before that, Kelma Tuolungi actually dropped under, and I thought the middle third of the Parramatta Eels were a little bit late reacting to that, and off the back of that, got a nice quick play of the ball, and as you mentioned, a specialist out of dummy half, so strong, burrowed in and got their team off to a terrific start.
3 tries now in 5 games in his return to the NRL. Dewey from beside the uprights to make this a healthy-looking scoreline for you Tigers fans joining us tonight right around the country and beyond. James Tamu watching on, stranded at the moment on 298 NRL games. They got the penalty and they get the points as well, Matt Russell.
Absolutely, and this is a good story, New Brown. You touched on it, made his debut at the Sharks, went to the Dogs, went to the Super League in the UK and saw 6 different surgeons. They refused to operate on a broken bone in his foot, saying rugby league is beyond you, New Brown. Don't even dream about carrying the Steeden again. Well, he didn't listen and he persisted. He found the right doctor. They operated. He's back, delivering now for West Tigers.
A nice moment there for the Tigers and their interim coach in Brett Noddy Kamali. And I guess in the other camp, Brad Arthur watching his team defend inside their own 20 for the first time in reality in the game. And repeat set there. New Brown just pulls their pants down from dummy half. And a few nervous moments in that Eels coach's box, given they can be very hot and cold. They've had a few moments like that in recent times, beaten by the Bulldogs only a month ago when the Bulldogs were in last place. Tonight the Tigers, they're in 15th, 3 wins and 12 losses on the season. That's an anxious Brad Arthur at the moment.
Well, it's a wonderful set coming out of their own end after points from the Tigers. Just their small men, just some footwork in and around the ruck.
Hastings puts it up. For Hengawi a long way offside, so called out of the play. And Gutherson ran it just the minimum 10 before Offa Hengawi got involved in the tackle there. So the Eels begin at their own 30 as Simonson does some stepping and almost got away there from Tyre. And Tuolungi. And there was a flop.
Momentum.
Well, they're getting out of their own end with ease at the moment, just through the discipline of the Tigers. But at the moment, there's been a real swing in who's dominating this game. I thought the last 5 to 10 minutes, the Tigers are really starting to turn the screws. As the Parramatta Eels through Penasini, what can they come up with?
Fourth penalty of the game conceded by the Tigers. The Eels working it away from their own 20. It's Niakore play it. Marnie from dummy half. Of course, the Eels without Barlow tonight.
Always held on to that.
But this they did, only just through Makatoa. Here's Brown going back on the inside. Campbell Gillard puts it down, and the Eels just keep dropping it when they go inside the Tigers' 20.
Well, Corey, you said he's held on to it on the previous play, and he was lucky to hold on to it. But on the next occasion, he just gets a bobble there, and it might have come off Hastings. They give him the benefit of the doubt, and then on the very next play, once again, some good contact. Their line speed's been fantastic, but Parramatta, no respect for the football.
Yeah, coming into this game, I've got no doubt Brad Arthur would have challenged his team about getting back to play a nice, hard, aggressive, direct run. And we heard from him in the pre-game, and that was exactly the motion. But you can't be playing back on the inside the way that we've just seen over the last few sets without earning the right. They need to roll their sleeves up, one off the ruck, Sevo, all their big men, and really put a dent in the West Tigers. But the Tigers, on the other hand, are really frustrating them with their defence. They're flying off the line and making a real contest of it.
Midway through this first half, West 6, Parramatta 0. Good carry by Adam Dewey, relishing this chance. Be back in the starting side. Yes, he's playing in the centres. There was plenty of talk during the week in the last couple of days about a discussion between himself and the coach and his preference to play at 5'8". Well, now's a problem for Jackson Hastings. And he reacted pretty dramatically there.
This is a big moment in the game for the Tigers.
It's caught under the weight there of Marnie, who had his leg and maybe just a bit of a twist of the ankle as he went down there with Campbell Gillard over the top.
Well, he's jumped out of dummy half and he tried to get a penalty because Regan Campbell Gillard was standing probably not into position of first marker. He jumps out and runs straight at him, and then Reed Marnie comes from behind, and just the weight of the tackle on his lower leg.
Yeah, just the foot seemed to get caught under the body of Reed Marnie. Test out the knee just to make sure there's no issues there as well.
But you're right, Corey, it's a big moment because they need him on the field. He organises their attack. He's such a voice for the whole team. Well, crucial for him.
Yeah, he's a real smart footballer. We've seen in the last few sets, particularly on playing 3 and 4 after a nice quick play the ball, just in and around, just asking questions of that ruck from the Parramatta Eels. He looks like he's going to play on.
See how he goes. Otherwise, Adam Dewey might be back in the halves before he was expecting to be. Here is Luke Brooks, who also made a few headlines during the week, didn't he? He puts Simonson under pressure here. Good catch by the former Raider, who'll play it at the Eels 20. Awkward pass there from Moses, well handled by Gutherson, but as a result, he's manhandled by Bollett and also Offa Hengawi. 6-0 the Tigers. Warren Smith, Corey Parker, Shane Flanagan, Matt Russell watching Regan Campbell Gillard get levelled. There's some starch in this Tigers lineup tonight in front of this big crowd at famous old Leichhardt Oval. The Eels respond with a conservative kick towards the sideline just to slow things down and catch their breath for a moment. What a shot that was, the two bookends.
There's a great angle here. We see Campbell Gillard. He'll do this all night, but he takes his medicine here. The Tigers have definitely responded. They've nearly hit him that hard. His moustache has come off.
And it was really good work from Famu Brown again there, Corey Parker, coming out from marker. As a big middle forward, you don't want those players coming out from marker and getting into your legs, and it's exactly what Famu Brown did.
Is that a moustache or a possum tail?
Well, there's a possum getting around at the moment. We're all walking around on eggshells thinking it's going to run up our leg, but we'll soldier on.
Brave types that we are. The old Leichhardt Possum. Larry the Possum here at Leichhardt again. Brooks out the back. Dane Laurie showing it. Nobody falling for it on the Eels' right edge. And they had visions of taking him into touch. Norfoluma. Long ball there for Brooks. Comes back to for Nuat-Bolle. Made his debut just last week. Looks a handy type, doesn't he? Right at home in the thick stuff. In the middle of the field, Hastings puts it up. Coming forward, Sevo a moment there, step past Dewey. Into the clutches, though, of Luke Garner. And the Eels begin just outside their own 10. They're very much in the arm wrestle, the Tigers. Going set for set at the moment. As Brown works it away, and you wouldn't know this is a top 8 team up against a team battling to avoid the wooden spoon here in 2022.
Warren, Nathan Brown about to come back on. Of course, he's missed the last 2 games, overlooked at the selection table. Not named today, originally named in the New South Wales Cup. A late reprieve with Ryan Madison out. Watch his first carry, Nathan Brown.
Here's a chance for Papali'i, who can be so damaging. Stays alive, gives it to Gutherson. Looks for Moses. There were plenty of Tigers around the halfback, though, so they take the tackle there. Gutherson to play it at the 20 on the last. There's Moses chipping one in behind. Laurie was there pouring through. Dylan Brown tried to put a shot on him. But Laurie absorbs the impact and the Tigers have it. 5 out from their own line as Dewey takes the carry and they get a penalty as well.
Yeah, once again, wonderful skill through Papali'i down this right-hand side. Was able to keep the ball alive before Moses puts a beautiful little kick in the backfield. Laurie cleans up, but again, the discipline. Both sides been guilty of it in this first half.
Kick for line is a good one, and they'll begin here, 15 short of the halfway line. Hastings, Uta Ikamanu is out there now. Strong first carry, well handled though by Nathan Brown in his return to the NRL ranks for the Parramatta Eels. Brown, the try scorer. Gives us our 6-0 scoreline here at the moment. Now from Brooks through Laurie. A bit of width there, but not much happening for Adam Dewey, who'll play it just outside the 40. Tupou from dummy half. Hastings comes back to the middle. Here is the former Eel in Uta Ikamanu. Quick play the ball as well. Brown for Hastings. Laurie chasing through. Pressure here on Gutherson. Laurie plants it down. A heads-up piece of play. Gutherson hedging his bets between the front line and playing the normal fullback role, and the kick was delicious. Just beyond him, he stumbled and Laurie pounced.
Yeah, you called it. It was a great little heads-up play. Hastings only moments ago couldn't get up. This time comes up with a beautiful little kick, hard to handle from Gutherson. He was heading down that left-hand side before just at the last second Hastings comes across and puts it to the middle. Comes off the head, and Dane Laurie, man of the moment, on the spot for the West Tigers, comes up with their second try.
And he did really well here, Corey. He just waited that split second before he put his hands on Gutherson. He waited till he attempted to catch it, and then as soon as Gutherson touched it, I feel that he actually then played at him, forces the error and gets a try. Some really smart play. One by Hastings, but then that young man, Dane Laurie, just to anticipate when he was going to catch it, not to touch him before he did, and he comes up with a beautiful try.
2 tries from the Tigers, both of them coming from penalty sets of 6. Try confirmed by the bunker, Tim Sheen. Shifting in his seat is Shifty. The recruitment manager, Warren McDonald, watching on as well. The Brains Trust enjoying what they're seeing at the moment. Why wouldn't they be? The Tigers by 10.
Well, there's been plenty to like about what we've seen from the Tigers in the opening exchanges. I mean, 27 minutes into this game, and they have not let their foot off the throat of the Parramatta Eels, who crossed the line early stages, were to be disallowed. Their middle forwards have really stood tall. Their defence has been up and really frustrating the Parramatta Eels. And off the back of that, they're able to come up with 2 tries.
Having beaten the Eels back in round 6, 21 points to 20. Here are the Tigers, Matt Russell, leading Parramatta 12 points to 0.
And there's Ken Momalo sitting there, having scored 10 of West Tigers' 35 tries this season. We wondered where the tries were going to come from without Ken Momalo. Well, I've answered with a couple early on, and there is Justin Matamua. What a success story for West Tigers. A Campbelltown junior who's come through the clubs under 17s, 19s, 21s. He's played with the Magpies in the New South Wales Cup and, of course, Origin at under 19 level. Welcome to the NRL, Justin Matamua, a pin-up boy for the Tigers' pathways.
He absolutely is, all the way from when he was 4 years of age at the Campbelltown City Kangaroos. And now he's a West Tiger. He comes Tiger number 259 here at Leica. He'll make your debut as a West Tiger. No better place to do it, of course. Either here or Campbelltown. He won't care tonight. He gets a touch right here to play it. He'll shift into the lock forward role was the plan, with Joe Offahengawi bumping up into the front row, and he's got some skill as well. Does Justin Matamua, who has another chance here. Charges hard at Marnie just to carry this time, but he can offload, can do some ball playing, as you have to in 2022 if you're playing in the 13 role. The kick goes down to Gutherson. Simonson is with him, and he'll bring it out here. Tigers driving backwards towards his own uprights, and with 12 minutes left in this first half. West trying to put some pressure on Mike Sevo. Trying to hit and spin there in the tackle from Garner. The contact tonight from the Tigers, much improved. I guess in some ways picking up from where they left off for a good period of that game at Mount Smart last week.
Yeah, well, we did that game and they competed for a long period of time, but probably just couldn't score. Their defence was quality, but tonight they're getting off their line and their first contact has been outstanding, and that set just after points. It was strong, it was powerful, and it was direct, and caused a lot of problems around the markers for the Parramatta Eels.
As Moses kicks from inside the 40 against the club at which he made his debut, Norfoluma, slipping over. And the Eels, invariably when they play well, their forwards dominate and they create so much havoc through the middle third of the field. Well, tonight they're certainly being matched by the Tigers, who are more than holding their own.
Yeah, without doubt. I thought Zane Musgrove and also Bola in the start of this match, both 7 runs for up around 70 metres, certainly set the tone for the Tigers, both offensively and defensively. On the back of that, they've come up with some wonderful tries.
There is midfield taking a carry here back towards the halfway line. Play 5 in this set. Brooks looking at a little outside-inside play there. The timing on the pass from dummy half was just too slow, and Laurie had overrun it. So Dewey comes across. He puts up a Matt Burton-type bomb. Simonson does enormously well to make that catch and not knock it on. And now the Tigers again give away a penalty. This time they're up inside the 10.
Well, one thing the Tigers are doing is they're competing hard, but they're coming up with some dumb errors. That time there, Joe Offahengawi. It was a terrific kick from Dewey. Had plenty of twists and turns on it. But inside the 10 gives them, once again, another little leg up. You do that enough to the good sides, they will make you pay.
It's Penasini working it forward. Bumped off the shoulder there of Luke Brooks, who stopped him cold, and then he got some help from Ikamanu and also Tuolungi.
Their marker work's been terrific in this first half. Just able to cut down all the momentum.
Campbell Gillard now feels the full force of what the Tigers are bringing to the table, and Stefano got up with a grin like a split watermelon after that shot on Big Reg. Here's Nathan Brown from Marnie. It goes across to Dylan Brown. Out wider, Gutherson. Wonga Blake for Sevo. Hanging on for grim life is Jackson Hastings on the 110-kilogram Fijian. And he'll play at 15 out from the Tigers line. Last play. Brown goes to Moses. A chip over the top. Papali is there again. Makes a tremendous catch. Knocked down by the Tigers. Play on here. Campbell Gillard. Did he win the race? He waits for confirmation.
Well, we're going to have a bit to look at here. Matamua.
I believe he doesn't ground it. I want to check the contact on Moses first.
Yeah, it was Matamua.
That's a shoulder charge.
Had contact on
If
Moses.
that contact's clear, Jerry,
Yeah, Mitchell Moses not happy
I've
about
ruled an
it.
advantage from the touch from the Tigers.
Okay, there is contact on Mitch Moses.
The skill that we've been able to see from Papali'i, if we fast forward it, incredible bit of skill. Plays long minutes, does a lot of work. There's
Justin Matamua does not make a genuine tackle on Mitch Moses. We're playing on at this point, though, to see if there's an advantage.
That's a terrific take. And then
Ball
the
is
ability.
taken cleanly by Isaiah Papali'i.
Looks like he's tried to offload it there, and it's come off Norfaluma's hand.
I think it's okay all the way through, but I don't know. The referee called that Regan Campbell-Gillard did not ground it properly, so I think we'll go back to a penalty.
Looking to see if the ball is knocked on by the Tigers and the tackle count restarted.
Well, it's a bit of a moot point because there's going to be a penalty anyway to the Eels, so the only thing we need to check is
Ball is
the
knocked
put
on by the
down
Tigers,
by Campbell-Gillard.
restarting the tackle count.
Yeah, just go forward.
Let's
Play on.
Let's skip to the chase.
Is he
Just need to
onside?
clear the onside from the second kick.
Hard to say off that angle.
Giving the all clear, I think Gutherson there.
Okay, all chases are onside from the second kick.
Here we go. Big Reg.
Yep, yeah, ball is kicked again and chases are still onside.
Now here we go.
Oh yeah, that's right. They could have just gone there and worked backwards.
Regan Campbell-Gillard.
I'd have gone with that. Well, the referee thought there was a bobble there as Campbell-Gillard put it down, but one replay is all we needed in the end, and it was Regan Campbell-Gillard off a scrambling piece of play. A sublime catch by Isaiah Papali'i. Kept the ball alive for the Eels on the last tackle, knocked down by Norfoluma. And a heads-up kick from Clint Gutherson supplies 4 points for RCG.
Well, third time lucky for the Parramatta Eels. Once again, it's off a kick, as you mentioned, was this time RCG. Doesn't get many. It's a really important one there.
Corey, you said it earlier. It was the kick from Dewey, went down into this corner, and then Joe Off-Bengowie gave the penalty away inside that 10 metres. And as you said, you can't do this to good teams.
Oh, that's a big moment.
So on debut, having just barely come onto the field and almost a resigned wave to the crowd there. Apology to the crowd on his debut game. Justin Matamua again says, yeah, that's my fault. Is the sin binning a tough one though? I think we see situations like that a lot, don't we? And it doesn't result in a sin bin.
Look, I mean, there's definite contact. We got no argument with that. Was there wrapping action? No, there wasn't. To sin bin him off the back of that, I would think a little bit tough, to be fair. And a real opportunity now for the Parramatta Eels with 8.5 minutes remaining in this first half. And a couple of minutes into the second half. Down one man for the Tigers.
So they'll have a minute and a half to begin the second half with 12 men only between here and there.
I've never seen such a polite sin binning. He walked past me and mouthed sorry and waved to the crowd and headed straight up the tunnel.
It was very much an apologetic wave a couple of times, wasn't it? And now, James Tarmo and Alex Twal, who's in the NRL at the moment with concussion symptoms still as he works his way back to first grade for the Tigers. They've both got into check on the 19-year-old who on debut finds himself in the sin bin. And by the time he comes back onto the field, he'll probably spend more time in the sin bin than he has actually on the playing field itself.
Was some
a debut to remember.
Real gamesmanship getting played here at the moment. Dewey's taken an eternity to kick this ball off.
They'll try and slow things down if they can. It's the Tigers by 6. Oh. Here we are again, another big collision in this corner of the field, the northwestern corner, the Parramatta River end of Leichhardt Oval. Oregon Kaufusi, it was bringing it back at speed. He was stopped just as quickly, though. Comes across here to Nathan Brown. Trademark shuffling style of his. Going to about 5 or 6. Marnie for Dylan Brown. Now Sean Lane gets going quickly, pops a good ball out the back. Gutherson straight back to the short side, but there were plenty of Tigers there still pushing up. Grabbed by Garner. The Eels are back at the halfway line. Blake it is. Into Tigers territory. Having been outplayed for the opening half an hour. Having had plenty of chances, they finally score, and now Moses puts it up again. Norfoluma standing underneath it, makes a good catch. He got some nice legal blocking there from Toa, who was planted to the ground, didn't go out of his way to change line and take an Eels chaser off the ball. Here he is. Going to carry it forward, and the Tigers beginning just outside their own 20.
Yeah, that set after points for the Parramatta Eels is one that we've sort of become accustomed to. Some nice, hard, direct running started by Kafusi. Is now down this left-hand side. They're away.
Junior Tupou is away, and he links up here. Great ball on the outside for Jacob Little, who's fresh on the field, and has been taken into touch. It's going to be a penalty, though, for the Tigers, and Jacob Little, his heart in his mouth potentially, gets up limping.
Well, Warren, he just came onto the field. He came off for Famu Brown down in that bottom corner, and then all of a sudden he had to support. He's run up this touchline. He's very, very fast, Jacob Little. And is it a second effort? I'm not quite sure, but the West Tigers gets a penalty. Really important time with 8 minutes to go and down a man.
It's a really stiff call. If we look at the back there from Gutherson, the leg of Little looks like it's gone over the sideline. Hard to see on that angle there. But to suggest that the momentum had stopped in the tackle, tough one.
Said the other night in commentary, there's 2 groups of referees. There are those who are savers, who will save you from going into touch, and there are those who will let you just be bundled 15 metres infield across.
There were 2 guys going.
I think Chris Butler will put him in the former category. Yeah. It's the Tigers from just outside the 20. Little, who surprised everybody, bursting down the wing. Didn't know where he came from. He's a dummy half now, though. As Uta Ikamanu plays it. Now Hastings. Brooks chipping. Knocked down there by Moses, and play on is the call. There was a set play in mind with Norfoluma, the target, and they were practicing that in the warm-up here tonight, but he didn't clear the tarmac, Luke Brooks.
And once again, another penalty. They're down a man, looking to play, come up with a kick on play 2. Not the right play when you got a man in the bin, as now Moses early kick to the sideline, and the Parramatta Eels in the attacking half. I mean, that's a horrible decision. Yes, it may come off, but if it doesn't come off, this is the result. Now you're under pressure.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Corey. It was a big play, as you said, especially when they're down a man, to go on play 2 to a kick. If it comes off, beautiful, but a big risky play.
Brown back against the grain, stopped in a hurry here by Uta Ikamanu, who is locked on tonight. Some big shots. Comes across here in cover as Brooks wraps up Mitch Moses. The 2 mates come together, exchange some pleasantries. How have you been? Now Brown goes inside the 20. 3.5 out from half-time. Full set here for the Eels after the restart. Campbell Gillard to the left-hand side. Kafusi taken down heavily by Garner. Strong defence from the back rower. It's Dylan Brown for Mitch Moses. Simonson wants a kick. Instead, Penasini gets the ball. He was taken into touch. Got rid of it, though, before he hit the chalk. Moses gets up to go again. Taken down by Norfoluma. 3 tackles gone. Simonson skipping out of dummy half. Will just burn one. They get themselves organised to this long left-hand side. It's Nathan Brown in the ball playing. Hands it off to Campbell Gillard, who tries to back his way in like a Mack truck. It's Marnie on the last. Long ball here for Dylan Brown. Goes over the top. A touch by the Tigers. Sevo for the corner. It looked like he got it down. He thinks he got it down, and the referee says yes.
Yeah, they'll strip for numbers down that left-hand side. They come up with a wonderful play from Dylan Brown, but I go back to the Luke Brooks kick, play 2, and unable to execute. Off the back of that, Parramatta Eels go down the other end off the back of a penalty. Brown comes up with a beautiful pass. One-on-one, Sevo, 5 metres out. Very hard to stop. the Parramatta Eels are back in this contest.
Junior Tupou turning around, looking for the ball, looking up, seeing Mike Acevo, thinking, well, here we go. Big test for a rookie winger. Acevo, he got a good bump from Tupou, but the presence of mind just to absorb the impact and plant it down cleanly.
Yeah, well, the young winger had to go in. He had to follow his centre in. They were short for numbers. He followed him in, then had to turn on the pass. And it's a big job to stop Acevo 5 metres out with a bit of momentum. He's done it to some good wingers, and he's done it to the young kid, unfortunately, on this occasion. But you're right, Corey. You roll the dice up the other end of the field. It's a big play. They didn't come up trumps. They read it well, Parramatta, and they go down and get points just before half-time.
Well, this is your halfback. He's very experienced, played in the game over a long period of time. Play two, they've got a man in the bin. They're in full control of the game. Full control of the game.
Control the clock.
And they come up with a play two kick that doesn't come off. They give away a penalty. They march them up the other end of the field. And you do that to the good teams, they make you pay.
On the sideline, it won't fade back. Shadows the left hand upright. It stays at West 12. Parramatta 10, a minute to go before half-time, and the Eels score against this 12-man Tigers outfit, who have another 2.5 minutes of game time remaining until the debutant, Justin Matamua, can come back onto the field.
Coach Brad Arthur wouldn't be that disappointed with his team's performance. They haven't been that bad. You know, they obviously gave away a few penalties, and when they were down the opposition job, they had them on their try line. Their attack wasn't great, but they've been pretty good. It's more so the West Tigers, how well they defended in that first 30 minutes.
Poor old Junior Tupou, just in his early career, seeing big Sevo.
Thanks very much.
No, thank you.
It was quite the sight, that shot from behind, wasn't it? You saw exactly what he was confronted with. And a big right mitt, able to pan it down like a Acevo. Isaiah Papali'i, is there a shift on here from their own end against 12 men for the Eels? Looking forward for the moment through Nathan Brown. Strong tackle again. Uta Ikamanu is a man possessed defensively in this game. Now it goes to Dylan Brown. Gutherson out the back. Wonga Blake does well. Basketball to Sevo. He's got support. He chips over
Moses.
the top. Here comes Moses. Brooks has a swing and a miss. And Reid Marnie. He plants it down. There is a surprise attack from the Eels from inside their own 20. Marnie gets the points. Parramatta have the lead.
Well, can you believe it? The Parramatta Eels in the last 10 minutes have run in 3 tries against the West Tigers. Wonderful lead-up work once again down this left-hand side. The vision here from Dylan Brown just to notify that Joe Offengawa is caught in at the A defender. A couple of passes gone behind him. They do terrifically well to catch him. Then off the back of that, Sevo, both players go through with an air swing. And the little number 9, just tracking through the middle third of the field, comes up with a really important try to put his team in front.
Good juggle, catch and pass from Wonga Blake. It was backwards, no question about that. We were right in line with it. Fox League cameras, and then the big swing and a miss from Luke Brooks. He tried to punt it all the way to Parramatta Road. This little piece of play here, the pirouette, still juggling it. And then that pass, as we saw from the camera tracking the play down that eastern touchline, it was fine from Blake. And then Marnie was able to come through and just go into submarine mode and plant it down.
Yeah, there's some great skill shown by the Parramatta players just there. And young Reid Marnie might have been watching Michael Innes back in his day doing the lawnmower.
He never mowed the lawns, mate. You seen those little hands of his? Never done a hard day's work in their life.
Just on Reid Marnie, defensively, they found him a few times in the defensive line, the West Tigers attackers, and sat him on his bum a couple of times, but it just shows he's always defending in that middle part, supporting in that middle part of the field, and he chased and he chased and he chased just in case, and he comes up with a try.
It's Moses from beside the uprights. Boy, what a savage mood swing this game has undergone in the last 8.5 minutes. And Gillard scored the try after the Matamua sin bidding. And now Moses makes this a 4-point lead for the Eels at the break. But we've got a terrific game here on Super Saturday. Try the difference, and the Eels at halftime at Leichhardt lead the Tigers 16 points to 12. Or does this man, Isaiah Papali'i, who was pivotal in one of those tries, tremendous catch, kept the ball alive as well. Gutherson put a kick in. Campbell Gillard off the back of it scored the try, which got the Eels on the board for the first time in the game, and his carries in particular. Well, he's scaring some Tigers tonight, but not this man, because boy, Stefano Uta-Ikamanu, who was a star junior coming through the ranks with the Parramatta Eels before the Tigers swooped a couple of seasons ago now, well, hasn't quite stuck on in the starting 13 in the last season and a bit here at West, but coming off the bench tonight, he's saying to everybody, including the coach, hey, I should be in the starting 13 because he's whacked everything that's moved.
Yeah, he's got a real big future in the game. Utu Ikamanu, we spoke about him in this time last year, in and involved in and around the New South Wales side. He picked up an injury through that period. He's back, and the Tigers need him in this second half.
Clint Gutherson gets us back underway. Warren Smith, Corey Parker, Shane Flanagan and Matt Russell bringing you all the action of this one. Stick around beyond full time. Vonnie and the boys will take you through everything that transpires in this second half, and then build up all the drama tomorrow in Brisbane between the Dragons and the Broncos. Justin Matamua, well, he's all smiles. That's great to see. 19 years of age, on debut, played 5 minutes, got sent to the sin bin for a tackle on Mitch Moses after Moses had kicked. From that point on, it's been all the Eels. See if the Tigers can just stem the flow, get it back 13 on 13 here. And maybe pick up from where they left off when it was 13 on 13. To Ikamanu again, second carry in this set. Oh, put down here by Offa Hengawi. The pass went to the decoy man. It was the last play, and Little didn't realise Brooks was screaming for it to put a kick in. What a mistake by West.
In the opening set in the second half, we spoke about some of the poor decisions in the back end of that first half, which led to some tries off the Parramatta Eels. In the opening set, they get it wrong. Once again, invite Parramatta straight into their own area.
As much as they were in the wrestle last week against the Warriors, it was simple stuff like that which cost them points in that 22-2 scoreline. They went down at Mount Smart Stadium, and now here they are. Their own mistake under pressure again. It's Campbell Gillard, already a try, his first for the season. And the bank tonight. Marnie finds Moses. Brown out the back. Gutherson was there. Coming back on the inside lane was the decoy. Instead, they'll hang on to it through Dylan Brown. Last play. Moses, rubbers, pressure here on the Tigers. They'll take it out of play through Jacob Little.
Well, there's no better halfback in the competition than Mitch Moses, is doing exactly that, just getting some repeat set pressure on the West Tigers. Beautiful little kick in behind the Tigers. Little just pushing it over the dead ball line, taking no chances whatsoever. And back-to-back sets here off a poor error to start this game from the Tigers to the Parramatta Eels.
Hastings on a dewy surface. It goes down to be taken here by Kafusi, who will wind up and bring it back. He's going to be a shark in 2023. At the moment, he plays it here as Brown on that right-hand side. Link up with Moses, who switches now and comes back to the left-hand side. Money goes down the short edge. Papali'i is the option there, and he knows only one direction. He takes it inside the 20. Marnie again down the short side. Now Moses is out there, takes them on. That is brilliant from Mitch Moses. He caught them out. It looked as though they were going to go to the left-hand side. He was camped over there for 2 plays, and then he sprinted back to the short side as Marnie went down that right edge twice, and suddenly it was 3-on-2, and Moses goes in himself.
Yes, it's brilliant setup play, wasn't it? The first one, they were just able to skid him off the back of that. Tuilagi was late getting back. They go down there again. They try their hand, another quick play of the ball, and then bang. Number 3, third time they go down there. Moses just shows with plenty of support, body's in motion off the back of that. He pokes his nose through. We see in the background Tuilagi still down with a bit of an injury, and they cross in the opening exchange in this second half off the back of a poor end of set for the West Tigers.
And you put that on the back, Corey, of the last 5 or 10 minutes of the first half. It's just been Parramatta. They've been powerful, they've been direct, and that was beautiful halfback play. They doubled plays up down that short side. Reid Marnie realised it. He doubled it up. He went down to his halfback, and his halfback played direct and square. Showed the dummy and had a nice fend back on the inside. Beautiful play from the young fella.
Yeah, so often we see teams when they get into that field position, they may lay to a spot before they come away and come back to that spot. That time there, they had a really quick play the ball. They just thought, oh, well, this is going all right, we'll go again. Got the same result, went again, and they crossed the line through that man there on screen.
He once was a Tiger. He hurts them here. Moses convert his own try, bending back. What a kick that is.
Come on.
Suddenly, it's a double-figure lead. A remarkable turnaround in this game. The Tigers were leading at the 32nd minute mark, 12 points to 0. Now it's 22 points to 12, Matt Russell.
Yeah, Mitchell Moses scoring his 5th try of the season, but as Corey mentioned, his try assists lead the league. 21 coming into this game. Last year he had 28. His career best is 31 in 2019. At this pace, he should go past that in what is proving to be quite the season for Mitch Moses. Both coaches banging on about the same thing at halftime, believing their own errors and penalties were allowing the opposition into the game. And for what it's worth, Parramatta have won all 5 games this season as leaders. West Tigers yet to come from behind at halftime.
Job on their hands now against a team with their tails up. Want to push their claims to be a top 4 team. In 2022, the Eels 7th. Coming into tonight's affair, 9 wins, 6 losses. As we said, coming off the back of a 30 points to 12 loss last week to the Rabbitohs and down 12 points to 0. Wasn't quite panic stations. And some wide eyes out there in that Eels lineup. The moment it was 13 on 12, they have just slayed the Tigers from that point on. 4 tries in 11 minutes of game time.
Yeah, without doubt, the man in the bin certainly helped the Parramatta Eels. I go back to the Luke Brooks kick in the first half. Real turning point in regards to their control.
Kick from Moses, taken here by Norfoluma, switching from the right to the left with the inclusion of Junior Tupou on the side tonight on this right wing with Ken Mamalo out of action with a knee injury. Staffatoa takes a carry. They need to stay composed here. They showed already tonight. They've got some points in them here at Leichhardt. And Junior Tupou was hard to handle a couple of times. Made a long run down the left-hand touchline in the first half. Carry right there. Dane Laurie, the lightweight fullback, will play it. 4 tackles gone from Little. Finds Hastings. Have to get to their kick without incident here after it just killed them a moment ago. And now from dummy half, Little finds Brooks. No decoys in the way. Kicks from inside the 40. It'll go down to Gutherson, who's got Simonson back there with him. Skips towards Tuolungi and also Brooks. And he'll play it eventually just outside his own 30.
And Warren, if they are to go on and win this game, Parramatta, you've got to win games so many different ways. In this occasion, they were behind. They got jumped at the start. They were down 12-0, and they didn't panic. They just stayed in their game, and then they came over them at the end, or at the back of that first half. You've got to learn to win so many different ways in this competition if you're going to go and play big games at the end of the year.
Here's Dylan Brown off a strong carry by Mike Sevo, which put Adam Dewey on the seat off his pants. He's there again to make a tackle, though. Campbell Gillard runs towards Uta Ikamanu. They've come together a number of times in this game. It's quite the contest between them. Moses, he kicks wide out towards Simonson, coming forward. Norfoluma makes a catch, unhurried. And they'll wrap him up, though, in a blue, white and gold cocoon, and he'll play it here just inside the Tigers' 20.
Yeah, they've fallen right into their groove, hasn't they, the Parramatta Eels, to start this second half, just going end-to-end, completing a very high rate, yet to come up with an error.
Little shift here. It's really happening the way Hastings envisioned, I'm sure. He came out to the right edge where Tupou cut back towards the middle. They've made heavy weather of picking up barely 10 metres in the first 3 plays. Offa Hengawi gets them going in the right direction. Boy, they needed that. Laurie off the back of the quick play the ball. He takes him across the halfway line. And Joe Offahengawi get some brownie points for that carry that got them out of trouble. The referee, as Clint Gutherson makes a catch here, a bit of a roar from the crowd because untouched with nobody within 10 or 15 metres of him, Chris Butler went down. Just lose his footing there. Maybe the extra long studs next time for the man with the whistle. He's okay. There is Simonson, all just about away. Stopped just by Tyre and also Brooks. Back within 10 of the halfway line. Brown, Nathan, that is. Stopped here. Couple of plays remaining in this set for Marnie to look to his left-hand side. Brown for Gutherson. Is Lane. Going too far there, though. Stopped by Little and also Garner. Come back from Moses. Doing most of the kicking. This one again. Down towards Norfoluma. He's the targets. In the second half, certainly, Laurie. Grabbed there by Reid Marnie, and Parramatta just keep turning it over at the right end of the field and making the Tigers do the tough stuff from inside their red zone.
Yeah, once again, isn't it? Mitch Moses just controlling the game beautifully. Just long kicks into the corner as Hastings comes out of the dummy half area. There's plenty of fatigue starting to creep in with those middle guys.
Now Little jumping out of dummy half. Wants a quick play the ball and gets one as well. Hastings needs a charging forward, finds Musgrove, who was placed on report in the opening tackle of the game after a big collision with Makahesi Makatoa. This one, an awkward one to handle. Simonson didn't get there. Going back, Penasini will clean it up. Stafford Toa gets to him. And the Tigers get a bit of a result here. They've got Parramatta at their own 10. See if they can jam them in a corner of the field. Simonson is back there for a carry. Spinning and twisting. No gain there. Now Papali'i.
It was a nice kick, wasn't it, from Brooks? Just able to find no man's land. It was moving and swirling around as RCG now tears onto it.
Strong carry and an offload as well. Gutherson picked off pretty quickly, though, by Little. Looking for a quick play of the ball. And we've got a penalty. Didn't get either. There's Nathan Brown, though. Off the back of Campbell Gillard's efforts, here they are. Put up an attacking kick. They'll come across to Brown this time, who will go to the air. You put Junior Tupou under pressure. He's a real athlete, though. Up above the pack comfortably there. Very good catch. The rookie winger tonight, playing in just his third game in the NRL. Come across the tie. A shift from the Tigers, worth of shots. Minimal gain. Now Norfoluma wrapping to the open side. Laurie is there, but runs into both Kafusi and Campbell Gillard. Comes through the hands of Offahengawi. Hastings just lost their way through this middle of the field. Attempted shifts to the right-hand side, not coming off for them at the moment. Second last play in this set. There's the man on debut, who will play it here at the halfway line, and Little finds Hastings. He'll mix up the kicking this time. Gutherson says, I've got it. Sevo is there, should he want him. The fullback will take the tackle himself. It's always handy when you've got Sevo there for play 2. Dylan Brown looks for him. Here is trouble. And that's what you try to avoid. Can't afford to have him coming onto it. With a legs tackle inside the 20, and he picks up 30 metres, does Micah Sevo.
They're so hard to handle. He's picked up a bit of an injury, come back out to this left-hand wing, but gets his team out of trouble very easily.
Now Lane. A few more tackles left in this set. From inside the Tigers 30, Marty goes across. Rodwell is out there now, playing just his 4th game in the NRL tonight. Brown with Gutherson out the back, rubbers, a ricochet, picked up there by Dane Laurie. Dylan Brown will get to him and stop him, but Parramatta right on top, leading by 10. 12.5 into this second half, and Dewey with a carry for West.
Yeah, both the halves of the Parramatta Eels just controlling the game. We heard from Brad Arthur before the game, wanted his team to be very patient. They're certainly doing that in this second half. 6 from 6 completions, dominating with their kicking game. Off the back of that, their forwards are finding some space.
So Whistle here for a slow play of the ball. Norfoluma barking at the referee. The referee said, you've got to go back and play it. We saw Jacob Little coming from the field after a stint either side of half-time. Manu Brown is out there now, pushing up here behind Zane Musgrove. He'll come back to Brooks. There's some room to move before he puts a kick in. Simonson pedaling backwards. Goes inside his 20, makes an easy catch this time around and then gets going. Tuolungi coming across is looking for a big shot over the top, and there'll be a penalty for a flop there from Luke Brooks.
It was the right call. Simonson did enough to find his front and earned the right to get up quicker than Luke Brooks wanted to. We see that it just flops in. Another poor discipline error for the Tigers. And what was going set for set, it was a real arm wrestle. Now they have invited the Parramatta Eels into their own half, Shane.
Yeah, exactly, Corey. They just fought their way back. They were going set for set. They were competing really hard, running. Their contact was outstanding, the West Tigers. And unfortunately, they just let them off the hook again. And now Parramatta march up into good field position.
Carried by Rodwell. Marnie for Moses. Has support back on the inside there in Niokore. Grabbed by Matamua. Closes the door on him and needed to. Comes here for Moses. He just saunters across. Papali'i straightens things, though. He's so hard to handle. It's been a revelation in his time with Parramatta. He'll be a Tiger next year. Boy, he's tough to stop here again tonight. Marnie with nothing doing. Brooks saves a try there with some help.
The tackle for Jerry.
There's a Tuolungi who forced the ball loose from Reid Marnie. There was terrible work by the Tigers at marker. And Marnie only had to just reach out and plant it down.
Yeah, it was awful.
See if Reid Marnie
goal line defence here. Does Brooks do enough?
Yes, he does.
It opened
Reid
right
Marnie
up.
loses control of the ball over the line, constituting a knock-on.
Try there for the Eels would have made it very tough for the Tigers. It stays a 10-point game, though, with 25 remaining. And with 7 tackles from their own 20, chance for West to try and get down to the red zone for the first time in this second half, and a penalty will certainly help their cause.
Yeah, my word. Both sides, when the opposition have been coming out of their end, have just given piggybacks. Once again, this occasion, tackle 2, penalty to West Tigers as they kick it out, and they'll start this set close to the 40 line of the Parramatta Eels.
Both teams finding it really difficult at different stages to find their flow of the game. The referee happy to blow a lot of penalties
rather than 6 agains.
Yeah.
12 of them to this point of the game, and so many of them coming with both teams working it away from their own end, of course, and the change in 2022 that inside your own 40. It's a penalty, not a set restart. Hastings. Yes, here, Brooks, Laurie comes across to Bow, taken there by Wonga Blake, who slides across the shoulders. The Tigers thought there was some high contact, and the referee now agrees, perhaps on the advice of the sideline official who was adjacent to the contact. Tupou still down, getting some attention here, coming across. You saw the impact from Wonga Blake. It's a result for the Tigers all the same. Corey Parker shaking his head. I don't know whether he's unhappy with the call or he saw Larry the Possum once again. Here's Brown going to the left-hand side. Hastings. Working inside the 10. And we're playing here eventually through Alpha Hengawi. Brown for Musgrove trying to hit and spin. Good stop by Rodwell and also Marnie. Next to the uprights, Brown, who did it once, tries to do it again here in this second half. They stop him this time, though. From Matamua, tipped on by Brooks. Ends up in the hands of Norfoluma. Comes back against the grain, coming out of the line. Brown can't stop him. Nathan, that was. Dylan can, though. Not before he offloads. Goes to Luke Garner, who straightens things. Runs towards Nathan Brown, lanes around the legs, and eventually they play it there. Last tackle for West from Offa Hengawi. Brooks, Grubbers, a chance. It's still there, cleaned up by Gutherson, and the call is taken dead.
Shot clock is on.
It'll be a dropout for the Eels, and well, it wasn't conventional. The Tigers get a result.
Well, he did enough, didn't he, Luke Brooks, to get it through there. Did it come off? Toa.
The knock-on called by Gutherson.
Yeah, it has.
And we saw, as it looked on the replay there, that Stafford Toa slid in and knocked the ball forwards in the first instance to be the knock-on against the Tigers.
Well, they had an opportunity to run the ball out that left-hand side, but Norfoluma had come that far across. He was unable to get across or back to his side to capitalise on the numbers that they had created.
As Parramatta work it away from their own ends. Near Corey. We'll play it here as it goes. Nathan Brown, 2 strong runs here. And you sense this big Eels forward pack just getting on top here in these physical collisions after the Tigers got the better of them in certainly the first half an hour of the game. And against 12 especially, the Eels have certainly made some hay. Moses stepping back. Jinking still going, beats everybody. Laurie got to him, but only just. Mitch Moses, already 1 try tonight, looking for a second there. Brown at the line. Gutherson gives it on. Sevo for the corner. He was juggling it. I don't know he's so convinced this time around. We'll check it with the bunker.
Well, this would be incredible if Micah Sevo's got this down.
Having no try based on the touchline. We just also need to have a look at a possible bobble into a Tiger as well.
It's a great word, bobble.
Love
That's
the
what we're
bobble.
looking for. Sevo, does he get his hands on the ball before it comes in to Tupou? Wonderful short side play. Again, Gutherson. Brown to Gutherson in game 150
Ball
for
is
the
caught
club.
outside the lead runner.
That's the bobble.
And there's more bobbling to come.
I think he's okay from there on in.
You're calling a try.
I said I think.
He
Looking
did
to
some
see
fantastic
if
work there to get this ball
Possession
in.
is retained.
It's definitely, well, it's back in his hands there, is it?
Is there a
Before it
touch?
touches.
Touch there by Tupou.
Micah Sevo regains possession after initially bobbling the ball without contacting a Tigers defender.
Left foot.
Oh, it's in. What's he do here? Well, this is a great angle.
Or is he in or is
Looking
he
to
out?
see if Micah Sevo remains in the field of play.
Again, go to the end and reverse backwards.
Let's start at the put down.
Hard to see off that
Micah
angle.
think there.
Sevo puts a foot
Yeah.
on the touchline.
Well, let's just see if he did get it.
We've got to reveal all just to see if there was a bobble at the death.
Oh, we don't even go there.
No, we'll get to it. Stay calm.
It was great lead-up play by Mitch Moses. He just drifted. He went down the short side, that far right-hand side, and then skipped across the line and then exploded through a gap. And then he played the football, and his other half partner stood up and comes down with a nice play down this edge.
Here we go, Corey. For those of you playing along at home, did you have try? Did you have no try?
Oh, look at that.
It would have been try.
That is freakish.
Had the size 22 feet. And Micah Sevo not touched the chalk.
Some big contact, Nathan Brown.
He's been terrific off the bench, Nathan Brown, for the Parramatta Eels. 10 runs, 88 run metres. Bought plenty of starch defensively.
Off for Hingawi this time. Nathan Brown looking to prove to Brad Arthur that he should be here back in this 17 full time.
Unnecessary, Nathan. Yeah,
It's
mate.
his chance tonight with the injury to Ryan Madison and, of course, Junior Barlow
Nathan,
being
you're
on
forward, high
State of
contact.
Origin duty. Penalty to the Tigers, so they get a chance here. They've hung on a couple of no tries in quick succession for Parramatta. Good kick for the line here. And the Tigers, with Nathan Brown on report.
High contact on report.
I didn't see it, to tell you the truth.
Come on. That'll do
Didn't
me.
see it there. On that replay, that's for sure. Bit to talk about coming out of this game tonight. It's been a feisty one. Tigers are fired up. They had to here at Leichhardt Oval in front of a big crowd. Now Hastings, short ball here. Musgrove taking it to the line. He stopped 15 out. Brown waits at dummy half. They're flat. Hastings. He finds Brooks. Moses comes out, hits him high. Play on. No penalty is the call. That's hard to imagine how that was missed. Oh, now Brooks. Brooks has knocked it on. And he's saying, sir, did you not see the high contact from my old roommate?
Luke.
Well, Moses has hit him clearly, squarely across the cheek.
Luke, are you challenging?
Now he's
Challenge is over
enticing
now.
him to challenge. No, your
Challenge
time's
is
up.
over. Because he said originally. Where do you want the scrum? Shot clock is on.
Here is Brooks again. Moses coming out.
I mean, we see Nathan Brown get put on report for a high shot on Joe Offengareway. Two middle forwards come together. And then we see nothing off the back of that. And the fans here at Leichhardt Oval have everything to...
And you would think the Nathan Brown tackle back on the halfway line that the bunker intervened. Why cannot the bunker intervene on that tackle there?
Well, I don't think anyone intervened. I think it was just all the referee in the middle.
And he asked a couple of times, do you want to challenge? Do you want to challenge?
Anyway, there's some feeling in the back end of this, was.
I think we all need an intervention. Here's Niokore. There's some good contact again to Alangi, and they drive them backwards. Penasini driven a long way back. Good stuff from the Tigers as they try and stay in this game. Oh, now Penasini puts it down. That's got the crowd on the Wayne Pearce Hill fired up. And the Tigers get a chance at a bit of a do-over, having made the mistake by Brooks. Dummy half when trying to play the ball after he was aggrieved. He didn't get a penalty himself.
It was a real missed opportunity down this right-hand side. We see there Tuilagi and another West Tigers player left on the ground. They come down that right-hand side. Papali'i, nice offload. If he catches that Penasini, he's got open space in front of him. They come up with that error. Let's go the Tigers.
We rejoin the action live. Hastings on this left-hand side. They're working inside the 10. Play it there through Urbale, and now Brooks comes across to Toa. Good tackle. Penasini trying to make up for the error a moment ago. 3 gone for West. Comes through the hands of Brooks. Urbale is there again. Inside the 10. Brown counting numbers. Tigers are set on the right-hand side. Hastings is there. Out the back is Laurie. Throws a dummy. Fends away from Sean Lane. Nothing doing. There might be something doing here as he grubbers for himself. Moses wins the race. Laurie needs to stop him and does. He was all in. No more chips left in his corner. He put them all in and he got the result.
Yeah, it was really good play. The young fullback just backed himself. He came back to this left-hand side. Wasn't a lot on, just puts the ball on the ground, and Mitchell Moses up to gets back and covers the play.
Parramatta goes short. Did it break the plane? It didn't look as though it did. And the Tigers will get a penalty from right in front. 10 points the difference. Can't imagine they're thinking about 2. Hastings in a hurry, though. 16 and change left before full-time here. Don't forget, voting in the boys beyond full-time here on this one-game Super Saturday. Coming to you from Leichhardt Oval. And it's off a Hengawi. Played a couple of metres out. From Brown. Here's Musgrove charging hard. Runs into the chest, though, of Lane. Rodwell is also there. Back to the left-hand side they go. Hastings, good hands. Brooks, likewise. Toa onto the ball at speed. Stopped by Moses, though, after he beat the tackle of Penasini. Comes from Norfoluma. Brooks shoveling it off of Hengawi. Nothing doing for the Tigers here. Just need to settle while they get themselves organised between Hastings and Brooks. They're very flat back on the left-hand side. They come to the open side instead. Another kick by Laurie. He gets a chance at a do-over. No, he's knocked it on. Twice he grubbers. They were both ad-lib plays. He got the result the first time around. I think he'd like both of them over.
Well, that's just where the West Tigers are at the moment. I mean, they've had back-to-back sets on the Parramatta line here. and they're coming up with plays like that, just all in, as you mentioned, was hoping something will come off the back of it. There's some disjoint in regards to their attack, their fluency. Joe Galway caught there, wasn't sure what was going on.
There was two real big plays there by Mitchell Moses, obviously to cover the kick from Dane Laurie originally into the in goal, but then there was a really big tackle over on the right-hand side where his centre missed the tackle and he just covered up, and it needed to be made, otherwise the West Tigers would have scored.
And that play in which Laurie puts the kick in for himself and doesn't get anything off the end of it. Both Hastings and Brooks were out on the left-hand side of the attack for the Tigers, and the pass came from dummy half to this side of the field, the Latcham Robinson grandstand side, as Musgrave is up quickly here, makes high contact and gives away a penalty. And I think if you're at dummy half, the ball's got to go to Hastings and Brooks.
Absolutely.
Now instead, they turn it over, and off the back of the penalty, Moses finds the line. Play it here 5 short of the halfway line. Wonga Blake just taps and says, "Here I am. Stop me if you can." We've had 66 minutes of action at Leichhardt. The game still far from being decided. Corey with the carry. Play it just outside the Tigers 30. As Marnie looks, Dylan Brown is here. He's got Lane and Blake. Lane gets a chance. Takes on Jackson Hastings there, who did well around the legs. Quick play the ball though. Marnie for Brown. Bypasses the forwards. Goes to Moses. Coming out of the line. Brooks was there to stop Gutherson. Keep it alive though. Swing it back here. Back to Nakatoa, who will play it at the Tigers 10. Marnie. Options either side. He goes first man to Kai Rodwell. He's a strong carrier of the ball, but here he is standing, offloading. That's how strong he is. Gutherson showing it. Nobody falling for a dummy. On the extreme side of the field, Brooks was there, so was To'a.
Sean Lane.
Now Penasini. Kick from Moses, grubbering. Lane was a target there, and he was thinking, and you were thinking through the air, Corey, the Tigers won't bring this back. Instead, they went the grubber. They get 6 more plays off a dropout anyway.
Yeah, they keep the pressure on through Mitch Moses. Wonderful little kick we saw in the first half, just going across to their edge back rows in Lane and Papali'i as they go for an early kick.
Catch. Stopped there by Bailey Simonson, keeps it in play for Parramatta. Tigers trying to surprise them and went within an ace of doing so. Instead, the Eels already back at the 10. Nakatoa. Tigers just have to hang on here if there to be a chance, you'd imagine. Marnie. He finds Moses, who grubbers. He's done it again. What a game he's having, and it's Isaiah Papali'i. He can pose for the photos because he gets the points that probably gets the Eels home here tonight.
Well, Mitch Moses' fingerprints in this second half have been over absolutely everything they're doing. The halves are controlling things beautifully. Just look at the skill here to catch and just bop it down onto his right foot in the one motion to his edge back rower, who has looked sensational every time he's touched the ball for the Parramatta Eels, is Silky. Very, very hard to do. You've got defence coming at you. You need to come up with the play early in the tackle count and makes it work.
Well, so often, Corey, they've gone to that side and they've gone to Papali'i with his powerful running. We saw last time they were up, he had a beautiful carry. He just got pulled down just a metre out from the try line, and Reid Marnie went from dummy half. On this occasion, they see Dane Laurie defending in the line, and he gets up really fast because he knows he's got Papali'i in front of him. And then Moses just sums it up beautifully, just puts a kick in behind because of the rushing defence, and they had plenty of time to cover up and score the try off the kick.
That's his 13th try assist, Moses, off a kick. 22 for the season. You mentioned about his numbers earlier. There was 13 off a kick. He just got so much in his arsenal.
I like what he did when they were down 12-0, how he just controlled and got his team back into the game. That was probably more important.
They've scored 5 tries straight from that point on. Moses is kicking it so well tonight, whether it's conversion attempts or in general play, attacking kicks, scoring tries himself, and he makes it 28 points to 12, and it was just perfect. The bounce, Penasini was there. If Papali'i doesn't get it, Papali'i puts it down. He says, take my photo, we'll get a selfie. It'll be on Instagram before we get back to halfway, Matt Russell.
Yeah, they're getting a good one next year, West Tigers, aren't they? Currently sitting now, Isaiah Papali'i. The Parramatta Eels might dedicate tonight's win to a man for whom they're wearing a black armband tonight. Was on a sad note, Parramatta lost eel number 328 this week. The short kickoff diffused by Parramatta. Ted Solkowitz dying suddenly early this week. He played 5 seasons as an eel through the 1970s and continued his association with the club long after retirement. Our sympathies to the family and friends of Ted Solkowitz.
So second those thoughts, Matty, as the Tigers go on the attack here. Famous name if you grew up watching rugby league in the 70s is Brooks. To this right-hand side, Hastings, Laurie, charging at Dylan Brown there, does well with some help from Wonga Blake. And they're keen to keep their line intact now. 10 minutes out from full time. Hastings, ball goes to ground. Cleaned up here by Uta Ikamanu, who will keep it alive. Now Adam Dewey. We'll just get going side to side here. Somebody needs to poke their nose through the line and get a quick play the ball if possible. It won't be here because there's eels everywhere, all over the back of Adam Dewey. Brown takes them on again. He's got another one.
Hold up on 4.
Has he been held up? The call is yes. Kai Rodwell underneath him stops Far Manu Brown grabbing a second try in this game.
Well, he's been across the line 3 times, Far Brown. He's already come up with a try in that first half. Play 4.
Arthur Hingawi takes a carry from dummy half. Just about snuck through. Not to surprise him. None of anybody thought he was going to go from dummy half. Here's Hastings. Goes out the back. A chance for Brooks. He shifts it on. Norfoluma for the corner. They're not quite done with yet. A quick try off the back of the Papali'i effort at the other end of the field. 28 points to 16. Stafford Toa looks over his shoulder at the clock and says, yes, we can score 2 more here. Brooks, he dives and plants it down cleanly.
Yeah, it was really smart play. Last tackle, Parramatta was sitting back on their try line. It goes to Hastings. He doesn't even fake to kick, and then he goes out to his other half in Brooks, and he comes up with a beautiful pass to Nufaluma, and he can finish.
It was just Simonson out on that right edge, just coming in. Probably could have held out on his winger, Norfoluma, who crossed for the try. With the Tigers, 8 minutes remaining. Cross for their first try in this second half after a string of tries, 5 in fact, from the Parramatta Eels.
And Dewey needs to get this kick in pretty quickly. So from the very sideline, the kicking tee barely inside the chalk. Jonathan Gowie's got a leg problem, is limping from the field. There's a cramp, is it?
Yeah, it's just some cramps. Listen to the supporters giving it to their own player.
Dewey's almost back at the 30. This one hooks away. Plenty of Eels fans here giving that man Adam Dewey the Raz tonight. It stays a 12-point game, 7.5 remaining. And well, the fans tonight have enjoyed the action. They have lapped it up. It's been a terrific game, and no matter what the scoreline is, oh boy, don't you love live TV? You can never plan things, can you, when you go to the fans? But they've enjoyed it all the same. They'll be talking about it, I'm sure, one of the locals after this as well. You can get your tickets for an upcoming game. Go to nrl.com/tickets. The old double. We've had a possum and a double bird tonight.
Well, Flano hasn't hopped down off the bench since that possum's come into the com box.
Yes, Larry the Leichhardt possum making his presence known again. He's got his own accreditation I saw earlier on too, just hanging around his neck.
He could probably do without eating. It's the size of a small corgi.
Yeah, he is. Here's Gutherson.
28-16. Like, for me, the West Tigers have actually defended in stages with some real purpose. Their contact, their first contact, their middle forwards, their marker play was outstanding, but just a few decisions from their halves at important times have put them onto the back foot, and obviously some penalties coming out of their end.
The Tigers work it away here. Austin Diaz is out there now at the back end of the game. Game number 2 for him. Team of New Zealand last week, his homeland, and a chance in the NRL now. Tyler, boy, rocks the head back there of Mitch Moses. They're back at the halfway line. 2 plays remaining in this set. Here's the try scorer, Norfoluma, jumping out from dummy half. Moleg does likewise, looking for a quick play the ball here on the last. They'll need to be clever from here, the Tigers. Dewey puts it up. Awkward one for Simonson. A juggle. He puts it down. Here's another set for West. Deep on the attack. They can score in this possession. You just never know. In the season in which they won back in round 6, 21 points to 20 via a Hastings field goal. They could give us a grandstand finish here tonight should they score here. Set restart as well. Hastings. This is to Uta Ikamanu. Fires it out the back. Comes back to Vanua Bolle, who charges hard. Stopped, but only just. Crowd on the Keith Barnes stand went up as one. Brown from dummy half. Tries to hit and spin here. They'll stop him. A metre short. Tackles to play with, though. Hastings searching. Brooks. He's got Norfoluma again. He does it again. Norfoluma has a double. He gives the Tigers a chance. And they're on their feet here at Leichhardt.
Yeah, back-to-back down that left-hand side once again. Isaiah Papali'i has left that right-hand side in the 4 defender. And since he is gone, they have come down this end and scored 2 tries. This one's through Luke Brooks. Beautiful little pass once again. Simonson. Oh, there's a bobble.
There's a bobble.
The bobble.
Not the bobble.
Norfoluma looks to have knocked the ball on. Wonderful lead-up play. Simonson jamming him once again.
Is there an intervention, though, for the bobble? Let's see what the bunker makes of it. Good work by Norfoluma to get the brakes on, not clean up the snapper. Here he is.
Yeah, no, that's no try.
Oh, I was going to say I thought he had his fingers on the ball all the way to the ground there.
Moses.
You thought it came away.
Tearing across. Well,
let's take a look at the other angle again.
I'm happy to apologise. There you go.
There you go.
I'm sure there was some separation between the ball and hand of Norfoluma. But the try's confirmed. 4.5 minutes remaining. 20 points to 28. Kick to come. Massive kick here.
From almost the exact same spot with the same fans. Bellowing in his right ear hole. Adam Dewey. To make this a converted try, the difference. With 4 minutes remaining. At Old Leichhardt. This one, it's the right-hand side. Oh, he overcorrected. Didn't get the draw he had on the first one. It's tough now. 4 remaining. We've seen crazier things. Melbourne Storm scored 4 tries in 5 minutes only a couple of weeks ago at Brookvale against the Sea Eagles. Here's Brooks at the line, draw and pass. It was just about a carbon copy. And the put down, fingers on the ball still there, Corey. Fingers of the right hand on the ball as it hits the turf. You're not convinced still, eh?
No, that's close. It's close. I'll go with the referee's decision of try confirmed, and we have a game on our hands. 4 minutes remaining.
Men, we saw Joe Offahengawe forced from the field a few minutes ago. Just cramps for Joe, only cramps.
That's good news for Joe Offahengawe. Heavily involved in some of the early work especially. It was willing, wasn't it? Tigers asking plenty of questions, giving some cheek against the Eels, the top 8 team.
Oh, it's a strong run.
It's Uta Ikamanu, just to add to the bruises collected tonight. We'll play it here. Vanua Bolle.
Well, they got to continue go down that left-hand side where Papali'i's left. They got Niokora defending at the 4.
See if they can exploit that as Hastings goes to Brooks on this left-hand side. They've used up 4. Out near the sideline, though. So they can get something going for a shot on the last play. Vanua Bolle getting another touch here. He's been heavily involved.
He's been outstanding second game in the NRL.
And he has. Dewey, spiralling bomb. Simonson under pressure again this time. Backing away, makes the catch. We'll play it just outside the 20.
Yes.
Tough one to take. He's a good striker, Adam Dewey, of the ball.
Yeah, certainly was. He come up with a play only moments ago. Dewey and found some space. This time Simonson cuts it off and backs up for his team for a little hit out of his own end.
Well, the Eels, if they can get through a set here, let's hope the Tigers work it off their own line. Just about got home. They'll play it there eventually. Now Gutherson. One more here. Moses on the right-hand side gets the feed from Marnie. Into Ikamani with a bump. Play on will be the call here. No drama. And the contact between the chaser and the kicker. Dane Laurie bringing it back. And they get a penalty as well. They need a quick kick for line and to score almost as quickly. And make this a one-play game with, well, it would be around about a minute left or thereabouts. See what they can do. Brett Kamali hasn't given up hope. Neither has Robbie Farah, riding shotgun with him in the Tigers coach's box. There's a shift here. Hastings, Laurie, Dewey. Good sliding defence in his left-hand side by the Eels, and Wonga Blake makes the tackle. Laurie finds Hastings. Charging hard. Diaz turns his back. Stopped though by Kafusi. And also Niokora. Comes to Hastings again. Brooks plays in motion around him. Tile cutting back towards the inside there. Picked off by Mitch Moses, who's been great in offense and great in defense as well. Now a kick. Awkward one to handle. Brown is happy to catch that and take it dead. They can use up some time here, and that'll probably seal the deal for the Eels, you'd think now.
Yeah, they'll get to take up at least 30 seconds before they have it drop out. And we see Brooks on play 3, little kick over the top, trying to chase some points.
Three seconds remaining on the dropout clock. Madison uses pretty much all of them up. Bounces down here. Tupou hands it off. Now it's Fanua who brings it back.
Well, you'd think he'd be a mainstay for the remainder of the season. Fanua Bola, he's been terrific.
As part of 140 metres for the game. And just his second game in the NRL. And that kick again from Brooks, intended there for Norfoluma. They've tried it twice and it hasn't come up. Once was charged down in the first half, and that one sailed beyond the touchline. While Tim Sheens, of course, is in charge of the football department now for the Tigers, watches on with his recruitment man as well, Warren McDonald, in the coach's box. Kamali and Farah, there's some glum faces there, but they asked plenty of questions of the Eels here tonight. And 12 points to nil up until Justin Matamua gets sin-binned. It was very much game on.
Yeah, you're spot on. You look for some positives out of this contest, and particularly that first half. I thought their intent defensively was exceptional. They turned around the Parramatta Eels. They went after them physically. At different stages, they dominated in that area before a real swing of momentum.
And that'll do us here at Leichhardt tonight. In front of a big crowd, the Tigers fans made the trek down Mary Street, hoping to see their side cause an upset against the Eels for the second time in 2022. But at full time, it's the Eels 28, the Tigers 20.